Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure and you're watching Transport Fever out here doing the Metropolis series. We're riding on board the very same train that we were riding on board at the end of the last episode. And we're heading currently from Brussels towards Vancouver. There's another train ahead of us and that's held us up at this... Look at this bit of track here. Oh, that's hideous. Oh, that really is awfully ugly. Now, I think I've even tried to relay that before, without much success, evidently. There's some quite aggressive signal action going on here as well. That's a lot of fun. Anyway, last time we built a rather splendid, if somewhat convoluted, new junction. Just outside Brussels. So it makes sense to me that we turn our eye to Brussels and try and get a little bit more out of it. I think there is plenty of marrow to be sucked from Brussels, and I'm just the kind of dog to take full advantage of that as we approach No, we're heading for Grand Junction, you fool. We're heading towards Vancouver, certainly, but we're in the vicinity of Grand Junction that we haven't actually visited in some time. So let's stay on board until we're out the other side of the intro, and then we'll concoct today's grand scheme. Well, it was most definitely worth staying on board. I mean, that's a view for the ages. That one, my goodness, what a splendid station approach this is. Now, I think this is a slightly bendy station as well, so I'm not getting off here immediately. We'll stay on board. Everybody's watching the skies. You never know when they will arrive. And you need to be ready. Tilt your heads back, people. It's the only way to be safe. Yes. Anyway, it is 1906, if memory serves me correctly, and we've got the Atlantic available to be deployed, and that's what I'm aiming to do in this episode. You wanted trains, I delivered. And yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm not sure where I'm going to use it. Will it be freight? Will it be passengers? I've got a lot of relatively ancient passenger trains at this point that would benefit from being upgraded, but I have yet to decide exactly what the best upgrade path would be. And we'll get onto that in a minute. But as this new century starts to develop, we will get a greater diversity of train. But in the meantime, our aim is still 50 plus steam locomotives, steam consists, set up and running. Now, we currently have 41 in operation. It would be nice to get up to, I don't know, 43 today. That would be quite jolly. But I want there to be, at some point, when I feel like I've completed the steam age and we're about to start moving on, I'll probably do a nothing but train spotting episode where we'll hang out in the vicinity of certain glamorous looking junctions and just watch stuff going on a bit. What's under there? Oh, I bet nothing criminal ever happens underneath that bit of bridge. Good gracious. Anyway, that was Grand Junction. I'm quite impressed with it. And over there is look, there's the steel bridge, look. Brilliant. Right, let's go and do something useful. There you go, off you go. 80 on board, make me the money, please. Right, there we go. So, Grand Junction, actually, let's just have a quick look and see who's waiting. 110 going to Detroit, 60 going to Rill, 70 going to Brussels, 23 going to Vancouver, and that was the Vancouver train that just left. It's fair to say Grand Junction is doing a fine job. Right, okay, so back to Brussels. Here's the last episode, the spaghetti web. It's working for the moment. Certainly, the red flashing light of "you've hosed it" has yet to illuminate itself, so I treat that as it working perfectly. Now, I've got 13.5 million in the bank, and I did say I was going to make an upgrade to one of my goods trains. So how about I make an upgrade to one of my goods trains? What are you, and where are you going? You're the Barcelona Transatlantic. Okay. And here is the Indianapolis bulk freight. Where is the Indianapolis bulk freight train? Because it would be nice to see that it was actually running. Indie bulk freight. There we go. 135. And actually, we've not got the usual diversity of transportation requirement going on here at the moment, which is also quite positive. Because the reason that I've been upgrading my freight train, I'd say train singular because I've only got one that's done it so far. But the reason for doing that is purely to avoid having too much backlog. Right, in we come with 299 of 301. That's not going to do it. Where's the... How much have we got waiting? We've got 420 waiting. Okay, that's fine. And then waiting for the food bulk, we've got 172. Now then, where's the food bulk train? Here it comes. And you are packing 92. It's just not good enough. 92 is never going to be enough to fill the demands that we're gradually building up here. So you know, something will need to be done about that relatively swiftly, I would have thought, if we're going to maximise the potential profit that we've got going on. Let's watch this consolidation going past with nothing on board. Pains me. Taking trains with nothing on board. Just oof. Think on that money you've left over. Right, I'm going to upgrade this fella here because running 2 locomotives is eating into its profit quite significantly. So let's have a look and see what our winning candidates are. Now, before we look at locos, let's look at the goods options. So here is the NAFI's 1890, which is you know, it's an agnostic train. It will take just about everything. Agnostic wagon. It'll take just about anything, or in fact anything, and it tops out at 75. So it's not a bad choice. This tank car takes 12, but is the same top speed. Also, not a bad choice, and that's what we're running on there at the moment. Now then, locomotive-wise, we're simply looking for something with a healthy amount of grunt. Now the Atlantic will do 90. And I don't think I've got any wagons that are capable of that. That's 68. I don't see anything other that is actually North American that would play that particular game. No, they're all getting quite ancient by that point. So realistically, the only reason to use the Atlantic right now would be for very heavy hauling. But let's see how that stacks up. So 94,841 versus the Heavy Mogul, which is just better and more expensive. Oh, okay. Now, the Atlantic is supposed to be a passenger train, yes. But if I haven't got a passenger car to take it on, then there's precious little point in doing so. Now, the consolidation has got a hell of a lot of power. And that might be the route to take instead of the Heavy Mogul. I think so. Oh, hold on. The heavy 8-wheeler's not bad either, but the heavy consolidation with its tractive effort, which will assist it in getting a speedy dispatch from the station. So let's sink our love and our belief into that immediately. We currently have 301 capacity. All right, it's 24, 48. Very good. And then add another 24 onto that, which would make it, what's that, 52, 62. No, 72. Very good. And that was... Why don't you just do this differently, right? Look. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 120. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 240. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 360. Auto replacement on. Replace it now is going to cost me 15 million. I'm going to borrow the money to keep things ticking along. Yep. Get it done. Now, that's going to give me extra capacity. Good thing. It's also going to give me, hopefully, a more rapid turnaround. Also a good thing. While at the same time, lower, potentially, the running costs, because it's running 2 standard moguls on there at the moment, and that's not ideal, because, you know, you have to pay for the thing twice. And we topped out at 40. I'm going to run this at top speed here to see if we manage to hit 50 at a relatively reasonable pace. There you go. So there's a new train. Spinning its wheels, look, itching to go. And that's a goodly length train while we're at it. Right, here we go. Now, the only worry that we potentially have here is whether it's going to end up blocking the station. 23. So far, the acceleration is about the same as with that double header that we were running before. It's more about how top speedy does it get up to. Wow, even this consolidation is struggling with the weight of the freight that it's hoiking. I mean, it's a noteworthy train lengthwise. I'm going to give this its own unique, special, and delightful colour as well. It's going to be black because it is hauling the black gold. There you go. It is a bit of a beast of a train. Right, 37. 38. It's not going to get up to 50, but that's okay. I don't need it to get up to 50. I just need it to do this efficiently. And it did feel like the acceleration was maybe just a little faster. But of course, this is only part of the network. The next part is going to be the other train coming in eventually, and that too is not the fastest that we've got here. So that's doing 34 with a 210 capacity. I don't know. Let's have a look at the finances. How have we been doing? We've been pulling in 4 and a bit million a year. I think we can do more than that, but we're going to need to get the oil delivery up. Meanwhile, where are you? You're Indianapolis, and you've got a full load. I don't really want to replace your... I'm going to replace you. Okay, right. Fine. We're going to stick this one on the heavy mogul. There we go. Yes, it's not cheap, but it will then couple that up with a bunch of these. Now, what my capacity is 81 right now. So if we were to do 10 of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oof, that's expensive. On replace now, 4.14. I've got it. You might as well have it. And then we're going to need to replace the oil train itself, because this is all about throughput. The more that we can, get stuff in. No, we're not going to do that one. I'm changing my plea. Instead, we're going to... Where's my passenger train? The food hubs. There we go. You here, you are getting a replacement. Now, it's doing 37, 38. Is it running a heavy mogul? I would have thought so. Certainly feels like it's got a bit of pace to it, doesn't it? Speak to me. Now, it's not but boxcars, but that means I may be able to run fewer boxcars on there, because I think these boxcars have a capacity of 9, unless I'm mistaken. Well, that would lead to there being a requirement for 15 boxcars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so it's got 12 as a capacity. Or maybe we stick with that, and maybe I just uprate the loco. What are we running on there at the moment? No, it is. No, that's the heavy mogul we've got on there. Now, if this fills out... Okay, well, what we do need to do is we need to put some more boxes on there. That's easy enough to do. Right, let's slow it down, because we've got a bit of a view situation. Have a view situation there, folks. That's quite nice. Right, anyway, yes, we need to get more food being brought back. Now, it's not coming back with a full load, which, the sane amongst us might immediately suggest, well, in which case, don't put too much on there in the first place. I go, ah, ha, ha, ha. Unfortunately, that is a noise I make. if I take more out there, there is a greater chance I bring more back. So we're currently, what, we've got 15 on there right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That takes us up to 240. That's quite a bit. That's a bit of a leap. Let's go a little bit further. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 300. Right, okay, on. Replace now. 7.6 million. Get it done. Right, I'm not in the mood for hanging around, and this is, given that this is a primary driver to overall profitability on this route, it's worth spending the money. So we're going to just go and watch this transition. Oh, we get to ride the three sectioned track as well while we're here. There you go. Yeah. Right. Let's check out the view. Now, imagine this train twice as long. That's what we're getting. In fact, it's not quite twice as long. It's just a little less than that. Keep going. There we go. Off we trot. None of this, of course, is in any way assisting my aspiration of adding a new train in this episode. I'm not oblivious to that, but don't worry about it. We'll figure out a means of making that happen pretty soon. What have we got waiting? 248. 248 is respectable, actually. We can carry quite a lot of that. There we go. So 264 it thinks will be limited to. Because then all of this food that comes in is going to get distributed out to the towns, which will help them grow. And it should end up making those towns, those trains, significantly more profitable, which obviously, more profit, more profit. That's a self-fulfilling prophecy of a kind of catchphrase there. But yeah, it should get it done. Right. Let's leave that going, and we'll stop in back at Goods Hub a little later in the episode, just after I figure out what exactly it is I'm doing next. Now, I want to get more passenger trains to bring down the wait times for things pretty soon. I want to get the Euro loop working, because the Euro bubble, because it just isn't working at all, and Wellington needs an external connection somewhere. Now, when we make that external connection, the good people here of Wellington are going to find themselves sans house. So that's not cheap. However, getting a route that goes from Brussels, which is up here, I'm pretty sure that's Brussels. Yeah, there we go. That runs from Brussels to somewhere is certainly viable. And we've got this one section of track here that we haven't yet used. And Barcelona is pretty much going, hello, it's me. I'm the one who should receive the track. The question is, where am I going to take that track into? I think it makes most sense to come in this side. But that then leaves the opportunity to go to Shanghai. And we love sending stuff to Shanghai. Okay, right, that's what we're going to do. Hopefully I can afford this. Given the presence of the fields here, I'm going to have to be careful when affording it. But with a bit of luck, I've got no idea what is actually happening there. So let's bulldoze it. If in doubt, bulldoze. We haven't interrupted anybody, so everybody's still happy with me. Right then. Signals, yeah, while ambitious and a jolly good wheeze for all of us, is not what we want. We're going to want to... Well, we've got two choices here. We either set up a connection here, or we come in swooping over the top here. What have we got actually using this stuff at the moment? 2 lines, 3 lines. Okay, so that's the Euro loop using that as well. And then this is only 1 line, so we'll cross over here rather than do it post station. And we will try and pull it off about there. There you go. 56 as the slowdown. That's not too wretched. Although it really depends how much of an angle we've left ourselves to deal with. Oh, look at that flipping field. And there's Brussels. So we're already looking at going around here like this. Alright, so what would you do? So you'd want to pull out like that, and then come in down the edge of this field, and then probably come in about there. And that's obviously going to prove to be something of a challenge, but I'm up for a challenge. That's better. And given the proximity to the station, I've got no issue with a bit of a slowdown there either. Maybe we get as close to the platform as we can. That might be the better way to go. Yep, that keeps the speed reasonably high as they're on final approach. Let's do that. Okay, good. Disjunction, nicely executed, but inevitably not going to be used. I've spent all my loan, haven't I? I think I've got maybe a couple of million left. Okay, well that's not, you know, it's not the end of times. We can still make that work. Right, grand. So I want to bulldoze as few of these fields as possible because doing so is ridiculously expensive. They're like $750,000 a field. Nice work if you can get it there, farmers. Right, okay, that's good. I'm going to go through there. Oh, okay, this one's only 200 and change. So that's I don't no. We don't need to remove them both. Let's gonna have to pull this one. Hey, if something's worth doing once, it's worth doing at least 3 times. Let's head that way a little bit. Right, yeah, and then you come back this way. Go on, no. All right, fine. We'll do the connection this way. Right, and then we'll head out to Brussels. Now then, what am I going to do now that I've built a line that goes all the way to Brussels? Is what I'm asking myself at the moment, because I haven't really thought it through any more beyond that. Also, that's £500,000 worth of trench work going on there. Do we want to go a little bit deeper and tunnel? I don't think we do. Just spend it. There we go. If nothing else, that will leave us the opportunity for a glamorous bridge going over that at some point, probably. All right, okay, stick that on there. Okay, now I mean the aspiration for the series of you know getting as many. Oh, that's upset the apple cart. Barcelona to Brussels. Okay, don't worry about it. I'm building you a Barcelona to Brussels train line. Surely that is superior in every conceivable way. Now, in order for the aspiration, that's where I was, for you know as many trains as humanly possible on here, it means as many routes as possible, and those routes are going to have to be practical in some fashion. There's no sense in setting these things up if you're not going to make any cash at all. So that's that's the challenge that we've got going on. Now, if we're coming through here, I seem to recall there being a backing service using that area of the station. Here we go. So, yeah, we've got a backing service here. Ha! Now, these two are both one way, but that involves... No, we can make that happen. Why are you waiting? What are you waiting for? You're waiting for that one to clear by the looks of it. Yep. Okay. And that means we need another block in the middle of there, because I don't want anybody waiting unless it's absolutely mandatory. There we go. Keep it going. So I try to run an efficient operation here, and it's pretty important to me and my shareholders that we do this in a relatively efficient fashion. So as much as this is a backing service, I think we're going to have to run through here. Otherwise, we're going to be sharing with 3 other lines, even though there's only 2 lines per side, given that that's 2 one-way lines on there. So coming in through here is possibly I don't know, it's probably easier. Oh, we want to watch this. Worth it all day. All day this is worth it. Yes, mate, I got there first. I get to go through first. You can just sit there quietly, patiently, and shut up. Sulking train is sulking now. It's also on the way. That's grand. That's also, you know, that's a pretty good testimony to things actually working. Love it. Yeah, okay, so, yeah, I think we're going to have to go that route. Now then, the question is, where do we want to go from? So Grand Junction would appear to be the obvious candidate there. Or do we pass straight through? Oh, hello, hold on. What do we got here? We got Grand Junction up to somewhere else. We could reach Dortmund, so we could go Dortmund Grand Junction, which is clearly what I envisaged initially, through to Brussels and then on to Barcelona. This is a route that we have not yet done, and then on to Shanghai. So Shanghai, Barcelona, Brussels, Brussels to Brussels to Dortmund. No, Brussels to Grand Junction to Dortmund. That's nonsense. That makes no sense at all. Maybe it's Wolverhampton instead, rather than Dortmund, which is a slightly bendy route to get to Shanghai. If you wanted to get to Wolverhampton from Shanghai, you would kind of go, well, can I just go in a straight line? And you go, no. What you could do is you can head via Barcelona and then Brussels and Grand Junction. Now, the individual stops on that route, they actually do make some sense, but that part of the route itself, not so much, no. Anyway, this platform at Grand Junction is obviously going to cater for both Dortmund and Wolverhampton. Rill also needs a route pushing through to Wolves as well. So let's go and have a look at the station situation here and figure out how exactly one is going to go about doing this. So we need to run this down to Wellington. We also need to run it through the mountain or over the mountain. I don't think that over them. Although, look at that. If we could carve through there. Give me a price check on this, would you? I don't think we're going to do it, but it would be nice to know. I'm even happy for you to climb a little. So if we were to go up to about there, that's 160, which isn't horrendously expensive. You're going to need a tunnel in there anyway. I'm buying it. There we are. That's a purchase made. And we'll run through here as well. Because, you know, if something's worth single tracking, it's worth double tracking. Right, punch through the middle of the mountain. Now, this is obviously going to be the most expensive route I ever build. You're still going uphill. Interesting. That's not a great idea, though. Stay on the flat. Yeah, we're a little way from being ready, and then you come out and we need a bridge immediately. Okay. Well, and that's fine actually, because over here, if we could hit the flat by that point, no, stay up. Right, maybe go as far as there, and then hit ground level by the time we hit this minor rise here, and then tidally head into Rill, which is there. Okay, yep, that could work. Obviously, not now, can't afford it. So we're back looking just purely at Brussels, Barcelona, and then Shanghai at the moment, and that's a route I can get rolling immediately. So I'll do that. Actually, it depends how much loan I've got left. 1.5 million in loan available. Now, you'll see, actually, while we're here with the balance sheet open, that we've moved from 40 million, 42, 47 million. So we've definitely been upgrading the earning, and as much as the associated costs there have been keeping track alongside that, I do think that our well, we can prove this out, can't we, right? So that's 17 million. That's what, 13 and a half. That's just shy of 14. This year at the moment we're 2 up. Yeah, maybe. we'll see how it pans out. But I'm trying. If I can keep that ratio about right, then theoretically, just by increasing the number of services, I can increase the amount of cash I'm making. But we'll have to see how that goes. Right. Enough pontificating. Let's crack on and set up a new line here. Now I'm almost certainly not going to have enough money to support more than one train initially, so that could be a bit of a worry in terms of making the maximum levels of profit. But we'll concern ourselves with that in due course. Let's put another interstitial in here. This junction's set up correctly. So if we were to go, let's do this. Shanghai up to Barcelona, up to Brussels, back to Barcelona. Right, let's see what... Yeah, we haven't quite got the line configuration exactly as we'd like it. And it's because I haven't got a crossover at this end. And if I do this right, then because we've got a backing service coming in on platform 1 here, it means that that we can make this a backing service as well, and we still end up with nobody being disrupted excessively. And that's a very good thing. Right. Is it the signal that is causing us to become upset here? There we go. Yeah. Perfect. I'm even going to leave this one in place purely because I've got a full row of signals set up. Despite the fact it's in an awful place, there shouldn't be enough trains to actually make that not work. So this is going to be Brussels to Shanghai. Shanghai. Thank you. Now, it suddenly occurs to me that I'd intended to use the Atlantic today, and this is not an appropriate route to be using the Atlantic on. It's a good route, and I need to put a train on it, which means back to Sioux Falls. I've got all of Europe and rest of world to play with in selecting my locomotive. Which way do I want to go? Which is the best way to Barcelona at this point? I guess via Brussels. Oh no, hold on. Have we got... I don't think we've got the points necessary here, have we? We do not. Oh no, hold on. You can come in this side, and then you can do a bit of merging action over there, and that's equally unhelpful. Okay, right. Well, what else could you do? Right, you could go up via Indianapolis. Yes, and then head out round there and get to Shanghai over there. And would that put you on the route? No, it wouldn't. No, that's not going to work either. All right, okay, so how, or rather where, am I going to set up a train that will actually end up on the right side of everything? Actually, if I slip this junction here, that might do the trick. In fact, it should do the trick. Whoa there, Tiger. No, not you. You're fine. No, you've taken a slight deviation there in a way that is not entirely appropriate. So no, this is Barcelona. Thank you. Right, so from Brussels, let's add that on the way. There you are. There we go. That should have it happy again. And I guess the only way to do this is actually just to buy a train and see what happens. So let's do that. Actually, let's have a look at all the trains we've got in the universe, and then see if we've got something that is vaguely European running a largely American service. Ha! The Barcelona Transatlantic is running a Great Western. Interesting. Where do you stop? Well, you don't stop anywhere British. Which is an unconventional choice. Maybe from here I can put you on Brussels Shanghai. You've got no path. Oh, but you're going to Shanghai. Oh, you need a flipping a junction creating. I had a plan here. It was reasonably good. Where are you? Alright, you're all the way out here. I thought you were heading for Shanghai. Because that's Sioux Falls. Turn around. Turn around. Broken. Depot, go. That's the smart move. Right, we'll do the same with you. Actually, we'll try this one the same way. This might be a bad idea. They are Brussels, Shanghai. You've managed to figure that out, kind of. Let's get this moving along. Alright, you're going to come in. You're probably going to come into a depot that isn't helpful for this particular objective, but you never know. You might be. Don't mind me, that was just the game going like, oh, we're moving at very high speed here and the month has just finished. Right, you go in there, and then once you're in there, who's bothered? Train 34, Orient Express, train 29, Orient Express. Why are you two having difficulties? Right, you get back to Brussels, Shanghai. Figure out a route, would you? Okay, don't get in touch with me until after you've done that. Why are you two having difficulties? That would explain a lot. Okay, fine. Well, we can fix that relatively straightforward by just doing this and doing that. There you go. I'm the magic man. I'm sure you could have figured that out for yourselves, but apparently not, and therefore, if you wouldn't mind, you should have just held your horses there, son. We're going to be scraping paint. Oh dear, the poor passengers getting stuck on the cattle prod there. Right, now, all that has accomplished is it basically means I now have a route that starts in Sioux Falls, which is in North America, that requires a locomotive or two. Oh no, if only I had a new locomotive that I was quite keen on using. Right, which are you using? Brussels, Shanghai. I suspect this line will probably do it. Yeah, we'll find out. Right, one Atlantic, 2 million quid. Sold. Now, we're going to need... Now, this is capable of 90, right? I haven't got anything that can do 90, so we're going to have to run the 6-axle, which will do 68. And then we'll buy... What have we got there? 90 passenger capacity. That's arguably overkill, you know. But it should do the trick. Barcelona, transatlantic. There you go. Off you are. There you are. Yeah. Hooray. Now, that is quite a lot of money I've just spent. Maybe slightly erratically. But I think it does set us up for a good level of growth from here on out. Meanwhile, here is your Atlantic. Now, I wanted to use the Pacific, and I was pretty sure I'd got that mod turned on. Evidently, however, I do not. There will be time. We will make sure that we don't just use stock engines, because where's the fun in that? Now, this is going to set a brand new blistering pace across the old transatlantic. So I have very high expectations in you there, friend. In fact, I'm going to give you a magic colour. Right, magic colour is going to be... Well, certainly not that, because this isn't Rainbow Land. That's not horrible. How does the loco look? Not horrible. Good. Right. Smashing. Excellent. Good. And right and smashing again. Right. I'm going to leave that running, and then we'll have a quick look and see how the fuel situation is. We've got 700 waiting for pickup. You've made that pickup and are currently crawling up here at 20 odd miles per hour. There's almost nothing waiting at the station here. Right, tell you what, you've got to wait till full on, haven't you? I can feel that in me water. Where are we? Wait till there it is. Wait till full. Now maybe with a couple more trucks on this route, that will pick up some. Let's do it. What's the fastest freight we've got at the moment? I'll tell you what, look, we could upset people by doing by umming and ahhing between the steam lorry and the Cannstatt. Now, as everybody pointed out when we did this last time around, the Cannstatt has got more power, right? And it lasts 10 years longer, and therefore it is the smart move to make. Right, there we go. However, it's not going to last for an extra 10 years because I will replace it with something easily before then. So this is Alps Cattle Trucking. Get to work. And hopefully that will help breeze this train along, which will breeze more food in, which will make everybody pay off. Here's my universal state car. It does look good, you know. You stick a container on the back. Or a cylinder of some kind, and it just looks right. But that is the station now in almost entirely devoid of goods, which is a bit of a concern. Right, we'll head over and fix up the road at Barcelona, and then that's going to mission accomplish us for today, because we're going to need to let that develop a little bit. I'm out of money. There you go. That's a possibly a more honest way of describing this this situation. Yeah, the money's run out a little, so we're just going to have to wait until the money's built up again, and I'll do that while you're elsewhere, catching up with your stories or whatever else it is that you care to get on with. Anyway, I've been Colonel Failure. Thank you very much for watching today. I got distracted and I didn't spend the money the way that I originally intended to, but we have at least created a new route. Let's have a look and see what we got going on here. Brussels, Shanghai, nothing doing at the present time. Bring me up one of my trains. You're heading for Barcelona. You're heading for Shanghai. The question is, are you heading there in an appropriate fashion? And that's what we'll just have to find out next time around. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Colonel Failure. Fling a like at this one if you enjoyed it. And be sure to subscribe so that... This is not what I was trying to do. You're multitasking, man. You're just not great at it. Yeah, fling a like at this if you enjoyed it. And be sure to subscribe to make sure that you don't miss out on the rest of this series. I still haven't fixed that. I'll just have to go back and do that later. I'll catch up with you very soon. Thanks for watching. Cheerio!